hanging out here with Denzel from Big Brother Africa, or Big Brother The Chase. It's our first hangout, and we are going to kick it off with just some introductions. And this is Denzel, obviously.
Yep.
We've got Jocelyn from South Africa. We've also got Laura from
Hi.
Kenya. And
Hello.
we're going to pose questions to Denzel. So, should we kick it off? And the first thing is, how are you feeling about being out of the Big Brother house?
I'd say it's a bittersweet experience at the moment. Bitter, evidently, because it's been nominated from such a exhilarating experience and game. Sweet because I think it was actually getting to me, and it's kind of fun to be back in the real world. So it's a little bit of both worlds. Kind of happy to be able to do normal things like get on Google.
Google Plus and hanging out.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Laura, do you want to kick us off with your question?
Oh yeah, sure. Hi, Denzel.
Hey.
Okay, my question is, social media has been a bit concerned about your nudity, and they say that it may have worked against you. Would you agree with that statement?
I wouldn't. I'm not too sure about it. Possibly it did work against me. Unfortunately, I didn't tell everyone. It is a reality show, and we were supposed to be as real as we could. In my reality, which is back at home, as soon as I get home, I do strip completely. So what you should be thankful for is the fact that at least I had something on.
Great.
Justin, do you want to ask Denzel a question?
Sure. Denzel, if you were biggie for a day, what task or challenge would you give the housemates?
I think it would be rallied around keeping away from alcohol. It seems like everybody seems to be looking forward to that every day because it helps them with the Dutch courage and it lightens up the mood. I think one of my challenges would definitely be what's going on. Definitely their minds coming out, trying to win that.
Great. It seems like we've lost and we'll go back to Laura. Laura, do you have another question?
Yes. Okay. There's a bit of sentiment in Kampala that the people who know you from before you got into the show say that you're not as much of a bad boy as we saw in the house. So, how would you respond to something like that?
That is true to a certain extent. Now, I don't think I could. I think one of my problems initially actually was that I came out with a little bit too much. And trust me, if I did come out with everything, you were going to need a couple more than a PG rating. It would be like a PG-21 or something, you know.
Okay, perfect. Tony and Laura, Tony and Peju, are you guys there? Doesn't seem like we have them there. Tony, Peju, are you there? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're with us today. Justin, let's go back to you.
Denzel, seeing that you're on Big Brother leave, what are you planning on doing with all this time?
What do you plan on doing out of Big Brother house for 3 minutes?
Yeah. Well, I'm going back to my usual work, which is now the show. To say get some endorsements, and apart from that, talk about also means that there will be. I'll be stealing some of your viewers, and they'll be listening to my radio show and watching my TV show just to see if I am the same person that was on TV, Big Brother and back home. It is basically back home to try and settle in again and see how I can take it away.
Okay. Just looking at Tony and Peju's question, one question from them was, what was with the boxer?
Oh, like I mentioned earlier, I think I did. For me, coming all the way from East Africa, it was very different being here. The Big Brother house was different for starters. The weather is different. The coffee tasted different. A lot of things are different for me. So I thought it would be great to do something that I'm used to. And I'm much of a stripper. As soon as I get home, I'm letting it all out. So I was really comfortable walking around in my briefs, and nothing related was too disappointed either.
Okay, Laura, do you have another question?
No, I'm good for now. I just want to know. I'm just curious to know what's the next step for you as Denzel? Because I mean, you're already a celebrity, and I'm not sure what you think this week in the house has achieved for you.
Thanks for asking that one. I took some time out to research and who actually supported me. Thankfully, my country supported me, but it was also very interesting to know that South Africa had my back. So I was actually looking into, or thinking about it just today morning, into finding an agent of sorts to try and see how, if there are any possibilities of entering the market here. I have no idea how it works or who's structure around it. I'm looking at all these sorts of things right now, but I just need to get somebody on the ground here that can handle it for me, because I do need to go home first and put that fruit there before I can think about taking it onto a continental level. But I definitely see that coming along with a brand like MultiChoice and DSTV that have a foothold across the African continent. Possibly export one of my shows onto African Magic or something of the sort. Yeah, a couple of things I'm trying to push through my head.
I wish you will.
Yes, definitely. I know a lot of people would look at this as very short-lived, but in my perception, it's not always the winners of the show that get the most mileage from it, and it could be those that lasted a week or the last couple of weeks and managed to take it to a whole new level. It's all about the personal incentive and the personal push behind it. I'm going to give it that extra push, especially since I got up pretty early, just to show y'all that not as much as you can in the Big Brother house.
Nice and quick. Let's just go back to Tony and Peju and see if they are there. Tony, Peju, can you hear us? Guys, can you hear us? Yeah. And then they can see you. Yeah. But unfortunately, they don't responding. So another question from them: if you had a chance to do something differently, would you do something differently?
Do something different. Somebody different. I think
Hello.
I would have taken time to integrate myself and be a little bit more listener and understanding of the fact that Big Brother, at the essence of it all, is interacting with different people. Coming from my background as an entertainer and a figure, I guess it worked kind of against me. You are stuck up, but you are proud of yourself. Having been in the limelight, I guess you carry yourself a different way, which is perceived as unnecessary. Hence, for voting the nomination so early. I guess because I wasn't being responsive to certain questions, or I wasn't saying yes or something if I didn't even like it, and I guess we're on the attitude. Yeah, what is the problem?
Okay, perfect. Well, it's lunchtime. We're out of the Big Brother house, so what's for lunch now?
Well, unless I can find 2 minute noodles around, I'm gonna. I picked my noodles, man. There were no noodles in the Big Brother house that I could actually whip up with people, unfortunately. But we still have some time when we get back and meet up all together. But for now, I guess they're gonna have to settle for some fast food and try and see that I can put some weight into this frame of mine.
Okay, perfect. Well, a nice way to end it off. Thank you very much for hanging out.
It was absolutely a pleasure. Africa, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Denzel.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.